Jesus was ministering, preaching, and as seemed to be the custom for people around that day, they were challenging Jesus. This guy stands up and he says, "Hey, how do I have eternal life?" Now, this guy was a lawyer, right? Now, not necessarily an attorney trying cases like we think of an attorney today, a lawyer today, but this was a guy who was an expert in Mosaic law, in the law of Moses. And he knew exactly what the law said that he had to do to have eternal life. Now, Jesus kind of challenges him back, right? He says, "Hey, man, you know the law. You tell me." Like, I'm not saying Jesus is sarcastic, but we're all made in his image, right? And a lot of us are pretty sarcastic. So there's maybe a little bit there. So he's like, "You tell me, bud. Go ahead." And the guy answers him with the letter of the law. Every single bit of the law he answers back with. And Jesus, I see him sitting back looking at the disciples being like, "This is good. I'm going to get him. I'm going to tell him this story, and it's going to be so good. People are going to be talking about it for thousands of years. It's going to be great. Just wait." So he says, "Yeah, bud, you know the law. Good job." But the lawyer isn't satisfied. See, he wants to justify himself. And he comes back and he says, "All right, smart guy, who's my neighbor? Who's my neighbor?" You ever tried to justify yourself to God? I know I have. I'll give you an example. I told you last time I was up here preaching, I told you that, and we're a real church. If you're first time, we're just going to tell you like it is. One of my biggest fleshly temptations is lust. Always has been. And there was a time when I used to justify what I was doing. And see, I could say, well, I know that it's obviously wrong to have a physical relationship with somebody. No, not that I'm trying to have a physical relationship with someone other than my wife. I want to clarify. She's not here, but if anybody sees her, you tell her I'm not. So, obviously that's wrong. But we also know through the words of Jesus that even looking lustfully at another woman is committing adultery in your own heart. So I know that's wrong too, right? So then you got to say, okay, well, how long is too long to look? I mean, it's 10 seconds. That's too long to be looking. But what if I noticed? I just noticed that she's pretty. That's okay, right? 3 seconds, 2 seconds. The point is this. I was trying to get as close to the sin as possible without stepping over the line. And that's what this guy was doing. He knows the law. He wants to do just the bare minimum. And I can tell you guys, if you're walking that line of sin, you're going to fall flat down and you end up with a face full of sin, and it's just not what you want to do, okay? So that's one of those lessons that God taught me through reading this as an adult that I didn't get as a child. So hopefully there are some things that you guys